Hey everybody, how we doing?
Hey guys, welcome back.
Joe here.
And Kevin.
We have another episode of Mad Men. We're following up the last episode today, and yeah, we had a lot going on in the last
That
episode.
was such a good episode. That has to be one of my favorite episodes. Up there
Thus
with the
far, yeah, I
up
mean,
there with the carousel as far as one of my favorite episodes so far of the series.
it
Um,
was funny, but also dramatically important, and just a lot of classic moments from the show. Honestly, I feel like we're really gonna be looking back on this episode as like an all timer.
yeah, for sure. And it signaled a lot of change of direction for not being a premiere or finale, right?
Yeah, it did. That felt
Um,
like a finale, didn't it?
yeah, it very much did. Um, you had the very shocking moment where the new guy who was going to be, I'm assuming they didn't really say his name. He's kind of president.
He was taking Lane's spot.
Right, taking Lane's spot as president of the Sterling Cooper branch,
Yeah,
who got his foot run over by a lawnmower in very shocking fashion
splattered
in the
everywhere.
office and splattered all the junior executives with blood, which I did not see coming.
Do you think that the secretary loses her job for that?
No,
I don't know. Because
I guess
they're gonna fire the guy who lost his foot.
right.
So I don't know who's to tell, but needless to say,
It sounded like
don't bring a lawnmower to the office.
right. Well, it sounds like Roger wasn't going to let it affect anybody because he's the one that's
He's
like
still the boss.
right, and he
Yeah.
said he's like I'm sure this has happened before, which is of course not true.
Right.
But there's also that subtle message of remember the Oliver line, right, that you pointed out, right? I love a tragedy with a happy ending.
That's
And
exactly
it
what the episode was.
and with him getting his foot run over, which is completely tragic, and even Don used that word, right, at the hospital, like it's a tragedy.
Yeah.
It's a happy ending for everybody else.
So thus far, I
In the
mean,
office.
yeah, yeah. We'll see what. I think that the guys in London are definitely gonna retaliate somehow. I don't know how they're going to restructure going forward because they said they have to rethink their plan.
We don't know what that's gonna be going forward, but everyone was definitely glad that that guy was gone. Not so much that his foot got chewed up, although there were a lot of people making jokes, and I'm not gonna lie, they were funny. I was
He'll never golf again.
Yeah. Oh my God. That wasn't even a joke, but that was such a brilliant line. His doctor said he'll never golf again. I mean, you want to talk about just really, yeah, turning up the dial on the how ridiculous this whole thing
Well,
is.
the reason they said they didn't want to, I'm sorry, they were going to get rid of him, I guess, is because I think that shows a compromised masculinity, which
Oh,
is
for sure.
just what in plays and movies back in the day, a character would have a limp or
Right.
some type of injury to show that,
Right.
and so that's probably what it is. It's just ridiculous, obviously, but I mean,
Well,
back
yeah.
in the day, that's.
Well, they kind of showed that early in the episode, right? When the
Yeah,
guys were coming in, Moneypenny had Lane take off his glasses
yeah, he did
because you physically look weak.
exactly, and
And that's what
it's a
happened.
stupid
It's a
rationale, but
stupid rationale, sure. And that the guy losing his foot, it's like there
he
are
can't be a man, he
he
can't play
can't.
golf.
Yeah, he
Yeah,
can't work anymore. He can't play golf. Well, there's a there is nothing about that job that you cannot do without a foot.
yeah.
Nothing. But in the time period, I guess if you can't walk
Appearance is
around
everything, right?
right, if you
Yeah,
can't walk around looking like you just came off a tennis court, can you really be running an ad agency? I
yeah.
guess is what they're suggesting there. Because Lane, like I said, Lane can't wear the glasses.
Different times.
Mm,
Different times. But yeah,
yeah,
we're gonna hop
stupid.
we're gonna hop right into this one though,
Right.
guys. So if you're watching this on YouTube for the first time, welcome to our channel.
Hello.
If you don't mind hitting the like button for us, leave us a comment down below, and please hit the subscribe button so you can stay updated with all of our new content we put on your way.
Absolutely. If you'd like to see the full reaction to this and everything else we watch, please check out the link in the description below to our Patreon page. You can see all episodes of Mad Men going back to the pilot there.
Not at all. Oh, jeez.
Whoa. Are we going to get a 24 hours earlier kind of situation?
I certainly hope so.
So, Don,
I think it's fine, Betsy.
all you do at work all day is evaluate objects. I would like the benefit of your eye.
He doesn't care. Yeah, looks great.
Move the end table and the lamp to the other end of the couch.
He doesn't care. He wanted to say something.
Yeah.
I think he's right.
I
I watched the sunrise today. Couldn't sleep.
How was it?
Average.
never
Oldie
even-
wrote a book. I got the galleys. They want a quote or something. Only he got it published. Should be called 1,000 Reasons I'm So Great.
Publishing himself?
No, Athenaeum. I'll send it over. I don't want you to buy it.
That's pretty funny. Yeah.
Allison, hold on my calls.
Sitting at his desk.
Yeah.
See, this is a total
Connie.
power move.
A great way to start the day.
Personal matter. It's not fit for the phone.
Oh, I did not see this coming.
Want to get out from behind my desk then? Oh, don't do it.
Don't sit in the guest desk.
Okay, well, he just won that.
Oh, yeah, he did.
I have this involvement. I can't say it's perfect, and my needs are being met. But I have
what?
significant needs, Don.
So he's got women.
I want you to handle the Waldorf Astoria, the New York Hilton, and the Statler Hilton. It's just New York, but my eye has definitely started to wander.
Oh, I thought he was talking about women.
I was too.
The proposed 3 million-gallon water tank will not only drain the Pleasantville Road reservoir, but also blemish the natural and financial health of our community.
Worthless real estate on both sides of the river because some industrial park on Route 9 needs our water.
We need to go over the village board's head, appeal to the governor.
I may know someone in the governor's office. His name
The
is
governor.
Henry.
Oh,
Gonna
yeah,
have to do
Henry.
better than that.
Is that the guy that was hitting on her
Yeah.
at that one party?
Henry
Okay.
Francis. Draper residence?
Mrs. Draper, it's Henry Francis.
Yes, of course. I appreciate you getting back to me so quickly. I'm going in the study. Hang up the phone.
He's gonna hang it up right now, isn't he? She didn't say it when I got on the phone.
What is wrong with you?
You said to hang up the phone.
After I pick up the phone. Freeze. I just realized everyone who calls you must want something.
Actually, I've been doing most of the calling lately. What can I do for you?
I want something.
Well,
I'm representing the Junior League.
of Terrytown? They want to build a 3 million-gallon water tank, and it's a very scenic area.
I'm heading upstate tomorrow afternoon. Maybe I could stop by and take a look. 3 too late for you?
No, it's perfect. I'll
I
make it work.
guarantee you, he's gonna come on to work.
For sure.
What did you promise him?
Who?
You're thick, you know that? A present, it's from Duck. Hermes. Nice.
I hope yours is a different color.
Yeah.
I'm keeping this. Duck said we're not tied together. I'll keep my mouth shut.
Do you know why Duck doesn't work here anymore? Because Don squeezed him out when the British took over.
Yeah,
So
he
what?
did.
But Duck would love to hit Don where it hurts.
Well, I'm not going anywhere. And I'm not going to tell Dawn.
I'm not worried about you. I'm worried about Duck. Send it back.
When were you going to tell us about this?
Oh, they were about Hilton too.
Yeah.
I agreed to the New York hotels, but everything else should be under our terms.
I don't think you understand. This is regarding your contract.
He
Or
doesn't have
lack
one.
thereof.
It may seem like a formality to you, but to Mr. Hilton, it's a necessity that all the principals in the firm be secured. And honestly, I can't blame him. It's fairly standard. 3 years, non-compete clause, healthy raise.
More money. You're kind of selling your soul there, though.
Right.
I wonder if this is what gets him in his predicament at the beginning of the episode.
I looked into this for you, and I'm afraid it's underway.
Oh, no. We're too late.
Maybe if you knew somebody with some clout. Maybe saving your community right now. I'm hungry. Do you mind?
I don't know.
Fine. You can read from your folder and watch me eat. Listen, I hate to disappoint you, but I have to be on my way.
Oh, well, that's too bad.
That's what you need. A fainting couch.
What's that?
Victorian ladies would get overwhelmed. Corsets and things. They'd need a place to lie down. So that's a rain check for the hike. I'll contact you as soon as I know anything.
It's good with boxes on their heads.
That's how silly it is.
Right.
How's your summer going?
It's good.
You gonna take a vacation?
I don't think so. I'll get August off. Then September I'm back at it. Where are you going?
Oh, we'll be here.
So now I know that. Must just come right out and ask if I'm going to be around.
Wow, she is forward.
Do you want me to leave you alone? Just say so.
It's
He's such a
hard
straight
because
shooter, I
this
love it.
happens
Yeah.
a lot.
Nothing is happening. We're just talking.
Yeah, I don't feel like Don's doing any hitting on her there whatsoever. I think she really wanted it
He's
to be.
trying his best. He is really like intrigued by this, I feel like.
Yeah.
Hello.
Miss Olson, what a pleasant surprise.
I haven't changed my mind, and I'd appreciate you not sending things.
Things you want to keep? Listen, I've been having meetings at the Pierre all day. Suite 600. At 4:30, Hermes comes by. Give it back in person.
I can't do that.
You can and you will. Then I'll leave you alone.
Please don't contact me again.
You don't think that that's who she was laying in bed with, do you?
Oh, I bet it is.
What is the problem? You think you're more dangerous without a contract? You are. And it's affecting our business.
Ugh. You down that
Problem
like 30
is,
seconds.
I don't know if you don't want to do this here or you don't want to do this at all. Didn't we give you an office?
So do you know who you're gonna put on Hilton yet?
Even her?
No.
Well, I don't know if they want a woman's point of view, but I read his book and
Who told you we were going to land Hilton?
I'm sorry. I was excited.
Don't be
And I
mean
heard
to her.
there was an amazing assignment.
And you thought you'd come in here and ask for it because I never say no. Every time I turn around, you got your hand in my pocket. You want to raise. You want this account. Put your nose down and pay attention to your work because there's not one thing that you've done here that I couldn't live without.
Oh,
That's harsh, Don.
that was really harsh.
Now she's gonna go bang Duck.
Now she's,
Come on.
yeah, that's why she ends up with Duck.
God.
Get better. Stop asking for things.
How is he supposed to get things? Yeah. I mean, I get what he's saying,
I get what he's saying.
but she's taking initiative.
Yeah. Well, I think the idea that she came in and had him sign up on something he didn't really need to do so she could ask
And-
annoyed him. She was playing him.
I don't think he's that thrilled about Hilton either.
Right.
What's wrong, Roger?
Well, it's about his contract.
What about it?
3 years isn't that long, you know.
I'm sorry. What do you want?
It's really not that long.
I want you to see what you can do to get him to sign it.
Don is going to do whatever he's going to do. And honestly, I find it terribly disrespectful that you would go behind his back.
Easy, Betty.
I have to go.
You came all this way? Have a drink.
He is being way nicer than Don was, and that's the problem. That's where all this blows up. It's just Don having a bad day and Duck having a good one.
You need someone in a skirt.
Everybody does.
Copy, Chief?
Maybe wants to get used to you. But definitely more money.
I can't.
Okay? Just so you know, that's what opportunity looks like. I'm just sorry I won't be seeing you every day.
What are you
You're
doing?
definitely flirting here.
What do you want from me?
I want to take you in that bedroom, lock the door, take your clothes off with my teeth, throw you in the bed.
Hey, Grandpa, Jesus.
Right, yeah. You know what, though? If it's a one-off, go ahead, Peggy. You do you.
I hate Duck so much.
I do hate Duck. I do hate Duck.
I hate Duck so much.
Roger Sterling called.
It's a liquor
He
content,
pretended to
I
be
know.
calling for you, and then he started on me about your contract.
What? Don't worry about my job.
Why would I? I don't know anything about it. They offered you a contract, and you didn't say a damn thing to me.
Let me explain something to you about business, since, as usual, you're turning this into something about yourself. No contract means I have all the power.
You're right. Why would I think that has anything to do with me? What's the matter? You don't know where you're going to be in 3 years?
Professionally, no.
Yeah.
So he's drinking and driving. That's what this is.
Ah, you called the car accident. You called that.
Well, because I was like, did Don get beaten or?
Does he get mugged?
You want to know why we're going to Niagara Falls?
Are they eloping?
We're getting married.
Yeah, called it.
Niagara Falls, fancy that.
Oh, I'm not knocked up. They're passing a law that if you're married, they can't send you to Vietnam.
I don't know if you served, mister.
Is that true?
I don't want to
I don't think that was a thing.
They're Reds. You ever had them?
What are they?
Vino Barbital. They're my dad's.
Barbiturates?
Oh God.
Ah, the 60s.
He is partying with these people. It's so weird.
You like to watch us dance?
Yeah, you want to watch us?
This is all gonna get so weird.
Oh, yeah, that's weird.
That is weird. There's Dad.
Look at you. Up to your old tricks.
Yeah.
You're a bum, you know that?
Running away again.
I gave him two.
Yeah.
Hell, is he still awake?
Yeah, you called it.
Yeah. That's what I felt. I was wondering.
It's awful.
It's an antique.
We discussed this for months, and we decided antiques were expected.
It's gonna be the fanny couch, isn't it? Yep,
Yep.
there you go.
I'm going to get coffee. Do you want some?
No, thank you.
Both of them are doing a bit of a walk of shame today.
Yeah.
Sacagawea carried a baby on her back all the way to the Pacific Ocean. And somewhere that baby thinks he discovered America. We brought you in, we nurtured you like family, and now's the time to pay us back.
Honestly, hats off to Bert for like
being really direct.
Yeah.
And he waited till it was just the two of them.
Yeah.
He didn't do it in front of Roger.
After all, when it comes down to it, who's really signing this contract anyway?
Ooh,
Because he's not Don Draper.
That's dang. Bert can be manipulative. All right.
Yeah, Bert just cut right through it, didn't he? He's like, look, I know you're not who you say you are. I don't care as long as you're on the team.
I don't want any more contact with Roger Sterling.
Dang.
Wow. Roger calling his wife really pissed him off.
Yep.
Don?
Yeah,
I signed it.
Jesus. God, the
There's
show's just...
Yeah, there's a lot that's going to happen with the show moving forward, clearly.
Okay, so Duck's back, probably for... I don't want to say for good, but he's definitely back in some capacity.
Right. I don't know if he's ever back at Sterling Cooper. I would say, watching how people come and go, it's not outside the realm of possibility he ends up back at Sterling Cooper at some point. But even if he's not, he's still set up as a foil for Don.
Yeah. It's kind of funny because we thought the coast was clear.
Right.
And they kind of... he kind of had the season off.
Right.
So it does signal going forward.
We're going to see him.
I don't know if that's the next season. I don't know if it's just has a resolution this time around, but he's there. He's the flying.
I think so. I think he's there. Pete called it. He's like,
he
Pete and Duck, Jesus. Don and Duck don't like each other. Right.
Yeah.
Don and Duck don't, all one syllables. Don and Duck don't like each other. And so he's going to poach us, who Don absolutely needs.
Yeah.
It's about getting back at Don by taking away.
And Don's not in a good position now. He's stuck.
He's not. And I honestly, you know how everyone assumes that Peggy was sleeping with Don? I wonder if that's what Duck thought too, and that's why he wanted to sleep with her. Because you're sleeping with Don, now I'm going to sleep with you to kind of get back at Don.
You just blew my mind.
Because
you
know what
freaking mind.
You know what I mean though? Because
Yeah.
it's like to Duck, screwing Peggy is the only way he can really screw Don.
Cooper. It's about Don.
It's about Don. I really think it's about Don. That's why he won't leave him alone.
Definitely.
He knows that Sterling Cooper and Don need Peggy, and they need Pete.
So we might get a sort of reprisal of sorts of the I don't have a contract. It's like I never slept with Peggy. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, really, it's got to be like
anything that I have.
I took Peggy away from you and made her mine. Like she was never mine, man.
That's wow.
It's Duck missing again. It's Duck taking a shot at Don and missing again.
I love this show so much.
It's so good.
I love this show so much.
It's so good.
Also, I think definitely Betty's gonna have sex with the
Henry. Yeah, I do too.
That's gonna happen. She's on the couch feeling herself up.
Well, the simple fact that we were introduced to him in such a weird way, the only reason I remembered him is like this guy's coming back at some point, right?
Yeah.
Because she was pregnant at the time, but he was so forward, but so regal, and she seemed so intrigued by it. Like she wasn't put off by him hitting on her, really. And I'm like, this guy might pop back around again.
Yeah.
And here we are. And I think you're right. I think it's going to happen.
So we see them all enjoying the spoils of what they sold out for, right?
For sure.
Except for Don, who is truly
Don is not enjoying it at all.
He is not having a good time right
now.
now.
Don is miserable.
And it might have benefited Betty.
Right.
It definitely benefits Sterling Cooper. I do want to say this, though. Do you think that Betty and Don should just not be together?
I do.
I think they'd be infinitely more happy if they didn't have each other.
Right. The farther we get into the show, the more I think I can see no way that they're married at the end of season 7. I could be wrong. I just don't. But I don't see it.
It's either that. It's the saddest ending of all time.
Right? Yeah. Kind of like Gone Girl, where it's like, a
loveless marriage for all eternity.
Yeah, exactly. Sorry if I just spoiled anything for anybody there.
It's been out for almost 10 years. Actually, 9 years.
It's not like 9 years.
If you haven't seen Gone Girl, that's on you, man.
Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, I really do think that I think their marriage is going to end, and I'm kind of wondering if it, because the expectation for me has been since season 1 that they would get divorced, like maybe, and the farther we get, the more I think, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
But I always thought it'd be Don's fault. But there's a real chance that Betty's the one that leaves for another man. You know what I mean? Or an affair that gets found out that ends the marriage.
What would be interesting though is that
it'd be ironic and probably deserved.
I mean, there's a million reasons why they should be together.
For sure.
But it'd be interesting to see that if Betty's infidelities are what caused the marriage to end, because Don has had so many.
Right.
And if he's not able to forgive like she was.
That would make him such a hypocrite, wouldn't it?
It would.
But yeah, I don't think these two do anything for each other.
Nah, they hate each other.
I do.
Yeah,
I
they hate
think,
each other.
and I think since season one, I think there's always been a little bit of resentment under the surface because their backgrounds are so different, right?
Very much so.
Dawn resents the fact that Betty has been a privileged kind of spoiled brat her whole life.
He does resent her upbringing because he had the
Yeah.
exact opposite of
he had a terrible upbringing, and she hasn't. And you notice how with every other rich person, he seems to kind of resent the fact that they all had that.
Yeah.
So why wouldn't he resent it with his wife
Yeah.
for having the same thing?
Well, because he controls her.
Right.
And now that he's losing that control, it's really
slipping.
coming out.
Right. Yeah. So I think he does resent her, and I think the fact that she knows that he is not what she signed up for, she resents him too.
I also hate the fact that Roger and Dawn are not friends right now.
I do too, because I love Roger.
They're amazing together.
I'm hoping they reconcile, because what he said at the end, like, I want no more contact with Roger Sterling. I hope it
There's
doesn't
no
come
way.
to be.
For 7 seasons, there's no way.
Right.
Unless they have like a real, like, standoffish, face down or something.
They might. It is quite possible
Yeah.
that these two butt heads for real
Uh-huh.
on an episode, and they come to an understanding where they
It's
get
like
past
a
it,
big
right?
climax or
Yeah,
something.
and they get past it, But I don't like the idea of that, because to me it kind of says less Roger Sterling, and I freaking love him on this show.
Roger's hilarious.
Yeah, he's great.
Trying to think what happened in this episode so we can really break it down. We've had a lot. We did a long day today, guys.
Yeah. Well, you had Don doing what Don does. He was kind of running away again.
I really think he wants to bang the teacher, by the way.
Oh, I do too.
She very clearly wants him, and I
Right.
think he wants her, but because he's in this position where he's like being a good husband, he's not going to jeopardize that.
Well, yeah, I agree, and also it's the kid's teacher, right?
Yeah.
He doesn't. He normally would. He didn't mess around with any of the girls at work, right? He shot Peggy down because the whole with that saying don't crap where you eat kind of thing. I think it's the same thing. It's like if you were some stranger, if you were a waitress hitting on me or something, or I picked you up at a bar. All night, for sure.
You know what it reminds me of?
It's kid's teacher.
It's the kid's teacher, and what it reminds me of is it's a completely different show. But Succession, the no real persons involved.
Right.
That's kind of his mentality of people that he doesn't have any interaction with. People don't matter to him.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't get people. He in a way he kind of does.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's probably one of the more sympathetic people on the show as far as dealing with others. He's not the rich prick that doesn't care about what happens to anybody. I mean, I think Don is ultimately a good guy, but I do think that he does tend to use strangers more than he's going to use people that he's going to have to be, in some type of interaction with.
But that's interesting because the people that he's close with, like Roger,
right,
that anybody at the office, anybody in his personal life, he has a lot of sympathy and care. But if it's somebody he doesn't really know, he's like, whatever.
I think that's human nature. I think most of us care more about people we know than we do about strangers.
Absolutely, absolutely. But it's interesting how he goes about it.
Sure. No, it is. It is. He like I said, he's a foot out the door kind of guy. So like even these personal relationships he has, I think he almost ran away from Betty in the first season with Rachel Menken, right? He asked her and she said no. I think Don is a foot out the door, ready to run away anymore. That's why he doesn't want the contract. His imaginary dad called him out on that.
Yeah, I know, right? I wonder if she'll ever come back though, Rachel Menken, because in many ways she is the one that got away for Don.
I don't know, because we saw her one more time and she got married,
yeah.
right? She had a husband and she did not look like she wanted to see Don at all. So I don't know that she comes back. I don't think so. I think that was like her swan song was that one moment. You know what I mean? Like, by the way, this is what happened with her.
Yeah.
She moved on from Don.
Yeah.
So I'd say she's gone.
Yeah, probably. It's interesting though that whenever they are giving Freddie his send off, the name that Dawn used to get in the speakeasy was her husband's name.
It was, yeah, that was interesting.
But we're in such an interesting spot in the show. We're still against the wall, but we have all of our characters in motion now.
Right.
So they're gonna have to go forward. Don's gonna have to go forward for 3 years with Sterling Cooper. Peggy has this weird alliance with Duck, which is awful.
Yeah, Duck is going to be a problem.
So we need to
forward. Yeah,
I want to see what Pete's got to bring to all this, because Pete knows about it.
Wouldn't it be amazing if Pete's the one who kind of saves everything from Duck in some manner?
He is gonna have to. He does not like Duck. He does not trust Duck. He loves Peggy.
Right.
And once he finds out that Peggy and Duck are a thing, I'm sure he's gonna blow the whole thing up.
I would hope so, because I think, because we were set up in season 1 to not like Pete right off the bat, right?
Yeah.
He was the little weasel that was trying to undermine Dawn from the get-go.
The worst.
Who was hitting on all the girls in a really creepy way. You weren't
Brought
supposed
a gun to the office.
Right, yeah, exactly. You're not supposed to like Pete in season 1, but I could see, Bert kind of called it, you never know how loyalty's born out of these kind of things.
Yeah.
And Pete has been pretty loyal to Dawn since then.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if on some level, in some way, and probably with Duck, that Don's bacon gets saved by Pete. You know what I mean? Yeah, the Don's going to be up against the wall somehow with the job, at home, with Duck, something, and Pete's going to be the one to save him.
I would love that.
I would too.
Because the last few episodes he's kind of taken the sidelines.
He has been a little backseat, right? And I really like Pete as a character a lot.
And it makes sense too, because where he's at now, he might be getting replaced in his position.
Yeah, with Ken might just be taking his job, and he might be back to being a junior executive.
Pete might have to throw a Hail Mary.
Yeah.
So,
good for Pete.
Good for Pete.
I want to see good. I don't hate Ken Cosgrove at all.
Oh, Ken's great.
I think he was kind of a sleazebag with the ladies early on because he was the single guy that was being way too aggressive.
Yeah.
Like, wasn't he the guy that tackled the one girl and pulled, like, it was like her panties are blue, like pulled her dress up?
I forgot all
was
about
like,
that.
Dude.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's a lot of like gross, like frat boy things not to like about Kenny, but
he's successful.
Yeah, and he's not. I hate to say it for just admitting that terrible thing he did, but he's not the worst guy to his coworkers either.
No, he's not. He's very likable. Like I said, he has a lot of success in writing and his job there.
Yeah,
and he's always very accepting.
Yeah.
So this whole show is just such an interesting dynamic.
Great characters.
The way they put all their chess pieces into play, it's like
it really is. Yeah,
it's mind blowing to think that this came out of somebody's head.
Yeah, this is so well written.
So it's fantastic, guys.
All right, we'll see you on the next one, guys.
See ya.